The views and opinions expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Unpacked and Empowered Podcast and Marianne Agudo.
Hello, and welcome to the Unpacked and Empowered Plus Finances podcast, a space where we dive into personal growth, financial empowerment, and real stories from fellow newcomers navigating life in Canada. This podcast is your go to for self improvement tips, financial literacy, and authentic conversations with inspiring individuals, whether they're building businesses, managing careers, or sharing their expert insights to uplift our communities. In today's episode, I'm excited to introduce to you Maria Tofowomo, a seasoned digital marketing expert and founder of Crystal Reece Media Ltd. Maria brings over 15 years of experience leading growth driven campaigns across industries, and that's from tech to consumer services to Fortune 500 companies. As a newcomer herself and a woman business owner based in New Brunswick, Maria is passionate about empowering small businesses, especially those owned by minorities and underrepresented groups, and that's with strategic, cost effective digital marketing. She also wears many hats: MBA graduate, certified Scrum Master, community servant, and author of Metabolic Reset, a wellness book inspired by her personal health journey. Today, Maria shares how she balances a full time job, entrepreneurship, and service, all while making a meaningful impact. So grab your favorite drink and settle in this conversation. This is packed with wisdom, inspiration, and practical tips you won't want to miss. Let's get into it.
All right. So, welcome, Maria. Welcome to the podcast. Before we proceed about
Yeah.
all the questions that we're going to discuss today, I just wanted to share a little bit about your journey as a newcomer to Canada and how you navigated your career and even finances in a new country. Tell us about that.
Thank you for having me, Marianne. I know we hit it off at a networking event that we met recently, so I'm glad to be on your show. So thank you for having me. Oh, yes. So I came to Canada in 2019, precisely October 2nd. I can't forget that day. Yeah. And then when I got in, I think the first shock for me was, of course, the culture shock. And when I came in alone, and then of course my family came to join me after like a month. It was I was here for my MBA, so I mean, as you know, UMD, it's a lot, it's intense, a lot of reading and stuff like that. So the first thing was survival, really. I want to make sure I'm doing well in school. I want to make sure that, and then it wasn't about, oh, I want to buy the fancy thing. It was first about getting a place, getting an accommodation where my family, when they come to join, will be able to say that it's quite decent. Right. So a lot of budget. My husband and I mean, shout out to him. I know he's watching. He's been a rock. We put in so much resources together, like 2 years before we even came to Canada. Right. So planning ahead is something that I always tell people. Relocation is a lot. It's quite expensive. So you need to plan ahead so that whatever you meet along the way, you can weather the storm. So that kind of helped us. So we had a budget. We knew what we were coming into, and we're able to plan, say, first 6 months, will this, can we survive with this amount? And how do we spread our finances so that, we don't spread thin? And thankfully, I finished my MBA, and I would just say, I'm a woman of faith. So coming here, we heard from God. I got a job right immediately after in fact, I got two offers. I got a job right after my MBA. So I, I'm thankful for that.
And
Yeah,
congratulations. I mean, it's been a long time, but not everyone would get the job right away from an MBA, even from bachelor's and
yeah,
any kind of education, really, because we're new in this country. So it really takes time sometimes, but I'm glad that that
yeah.
happened to you. I know as well that you just recently started Crystal Reece Media Limited, and you are working full time as well. So I'm interested, what inspired you to take that step? And how do you manage both?
Hmm. I'm a woman of many parts. I wear a lot of hats. Sometimes I think I'm very restless. That's an inside joke. Well, Crystal Reece, before coming here, I mean, I've had Crystal Reece in Nigeria, and then coming into a new country, like I explained, it was more about survival. So I kind of like put that in the back burner. But as I became very stable, right? A lot of my friends, even back home, some of the SMBs that I've worked with would call me and ask me questions. Maria, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Right? And then my husband told me one day, I think you should consider registering this year. I'm like, really? Can I? So in terms of being able to juggle it, I just replaced my series time on Netflix and chill, in the evenings, and then told myself, okay, what if I dedicate 2 hours? And sometimes I'm a soccer mom and I'm a basketball mom. Like my daughter just started playing basketball as well. So when I go, I take them around for all those things. I just, when I'm in the car not doing anything, I just grab my laptop and start working on projects that, yeah. So being able to kind of prioritize, when you're on your 9 to 5, that shouldn't impact what you're doing on the side. Because there's a lot of time actually. We have a lot of time. 24 hours is a long time. So it's just about being able to prioritize what's important. And I find that why did I decide, Crystal? 99% of the Canadian businesses are small medium, 99%. And that shows that small business is the backbone of the Canadian economy. And out of that, I think about 9% is owned by visible minorities. So we want to make sure that how do they get heard? How do they get seen? And I feel like this is more of a passion project
Yeah.
for me to help them because I do this on a day to day and in my own way of supporting them. I'm happy to use my platform to do so.
Because of this mission, you understand how minorities are and how underrepresented groups are in this kind of community where we're just getting started as well. So I know that your business focuses on that. And why? Tell us why this mission is important to you.
Yeah, it's important to me because I know how hard it is to start something, like start anything. Like I know how hard when some of my friends call me and, the fear, there's a lot of fear. Okay, will I sell? Will people patronize me? But there's a science behind most of these things that people don't know, and that's where marketing comes in. I know a lot of people think, oh, marketers are liars, the vanity metrics and all that. But there's a lot of science behind selling. First, from brand awareness, how do I market my business? How do I get seen? How do I profile my business in such a way that people get to know who is my target, right? So this is very important to me because I see that a lot of businesses that have value to give are not well positioned. And I feel like, you know, as an as someone that is, again, it's a calling, someone that loves to share insights, loves to use marketing automation and all the tech stack. I mean, from all my experiences, I can use that to provide value to them.
That's great to know. And also, sometimes it could be discouraging, for example, for like as someone who's just getting started, if you're gonna rely on the likes on all the followers, that's not really the goal. So sometimes we get hindered because, oh, maybe I should stop doing this because nobody sees me or nobody bothers looking. Oh, am I even putting value on the things that I'm putting out there? So it's really good, like if you have someone like yourself who would know how to actually advise small businesses on marketing. Exactly. Many people hesitate to start a business as well due to financial concerns. So how do you, in your case, how did you financially prepare to launch your business while maintaining stability?
Yeah. First, I would say, I've, I mean, shout out to my husband there. He's an entrepreneur. He's been doing that for 25 years. And sometimes I feel like, oh, how am I going to do this? I started seeing business expenses as an investment. And that was the change for me. It was now no longer, oh, am I going to get something back right now? But it was more about this is an investment. It's a long-term commitment, right? It's your own. It's just like when a child is growing, right? You keep feeding the child, giving the child food. They grow. And then I mean, my son now when I see him, I'm like, he's 16 and I start to wonder, oh, like my daughter, I'm like, how did you grow this? And that's how business is. Most of the people that have succeeded in businesses, they are not an all-night success. There is a time frame. So putting my expenditure, like I love fashion, I love dressing up, but I started reducing that and I started putting some of those expense, not that you don't have to look good, right? But those little you have on the side that you could use on frivolities, just turn it around. For example, when I was going to start and register the business last year, I put some money aside and I said, okay, this can be used to register this business. And you finish that, then you look at maybe another quarter. So you're going to have to start small to do it. So I also recently launched a book, basically to help wellness seekers improve on their gut. That was a year project that finally launched in March. It didn't just start, putting the resources together for editing, for cover design, all that. And I haven't recouped all, although we sold over 23 copies as of this morning. But I know it would eventually become a success. I would break even, but it's not, because that money I would have probably just used it to buy clothes or use it to buy, coffee or like some of it. But putting that together and also using compounding, like the TFSA. So, probably just putting some money aside. That's what I did. Put the money aside in my TFSA, watch it compound. After a while, you pull it out and then use it for a business commitment. So that kind of helped me gradually, 3 months, 6 months bucket, and then here we are. So don't see business expense. I know it's tough to say this, but don't see it as an expense. See it as an investment for your business, and it's just money sitting there that you would have used for anything else anyway, right? And then before you know it, when you look back, you've done a lot for the business, which you can also claim back in your taxes, right? That's why we have a very solid economy here that provides all this, like that foundation for us to be able to thrive.
Thank you for sharing. That was what I was thinking about before. The way I thought about business is, okay, I'm doing this, so I should make money right away. And if it doesn't, then maybe I'm going to stop it. But I stopped that kind of thinking as well because as I learn things, as I learn about business, it's not really, like you said, it's not really an overnight thing. Some things take some time to really go up there to where you want it to go. And we just have to be patient and know that in our mindset, it is investing in ourselves as well. Now, what are some lessons you've learned about balancing personal finances, career growth, and business expenses, like your business aspect?
I will say consistency in terms of, and also knowing that Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Consistency and then allocating resources around, like when I was going to start, it was, I didn't have zero kobo, but I had my own personal money. And then I started to think, okay, how can I use some of these resources that I have for my business? Also, you have, friends, family that can help with word of mouth. And when they help you with word of mouth, like I have like two current businesses that I'm working on now that came from some of my friends. So before you know it, it starts to add up and people will start to know you. But first, and I will go back to what I said about seeing it more as an investment, because when you see it as an investment, you won't be so worried about you have to make money right now, right now, right now. And because when it doesn't come right now, some people, it has happened to me too a few times, we just drop it. I'm like, okay, this is not meant for me. I'm not going to do business because it's not meant for me. So utilizing the resources you have, moving money around, try compounding. I remember when I finished my MBA, there was an amount that was given back in terms of taxes that I would have used on fashion, but we didn't do that. And I just went to my husband like, I have this X amount from the government. What do we do with it? And that was what we used, adding some more money to pay the down payment for our home, right? So knowing the priorities, aligning with whoever you're with, your partner, your spouse, and if you're alone, putting the first thing first, roof over my head. And now, if you look at the economy now, like houses are so expensive. And when I look back, I'm thankful that we took that step at the time where we did. So read wide, know what's happening in your community in terms of finances. Where can I invest? Right? Like I do compounding a lot, like the likes of NASDAQ and all that where do I invest? How do I invest? And I've also learned from mistakes of others. Me, especially, I'm a free sharer. I love to share. I remember there was a time, I was putting some of my saving into my RRSP. I practically didn't know that I would be taxed twice for putting the money in there. So there was a time I needed money. I went into my RRSP to take the money. I was taxed twice. That was a lesson for me to know that that's a long, it was designed as a, RRSP is designed as a long-term investment and not short-term. And that's why the likes of TFSA and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
that you could use. And yeah, so, read wide. Don't be afraid to also ask questions from people that are very knowledgeable. Like, I mean, Marianne, now that I know you, if I have questions around like advice around finances, I would definitely just like use you as my sounding board and ask questions. So just to make sure that I don't make like mistakes that could cost me my
Thank you
money.
for sharing. And Maria, I like how you mentioned earlier, you just switched like instead of spending too much time, like your Netflix time, you converted it to your to work on your business, which is really good. And that's what I've been doing as well. For newcomers and aspiring entrepreneurs, what financial and career advice do you wish you had known earlier?
Hmm. Network, network. From a personal point. I remember coming here at first, it was first about survival, like I mentioned to you. I felt like because I was trying to survive, I shouldn't go out. I shouldn't mingle. I shouldn't, like, but I wish, I could change the hands of time because from networking was how I got to know you, Marianne. And then we talked about collaborations and, brought me on your
Exactly.
show. Us from networking was how I got to know about the likes of Heather, Michael in the community where we had, and a lot of great things are about to happen from just that networking. So while you're trying to survive, you will be shocked at the fact that so many other people are going through what you're going through, right? Draw strength from other people, network. I mean, Eventbrite is a platform that allows you to see a lot of events happening. You don't even need to know so many people to get information about this thing. Just go on Eventbrite. Tailor it to your location. You get information about events that are happening for free if you can afford to, like to pay for it. And in terms of financial advice, I would say leverage um, investment opportunities, investment platforms that can help you turn your money around, right? Leverage them. They work. The likes of TFSA, if you put money in there, it means a tax-free savings account, right? It means that you're not going to be taxed at the end of the day for whatever money you put in there. And of course, there's a limit anyway to the amount you can put there. Everyone has, their threshold and all that. So leverage all that. And if you're someone that is passionate about starting something, there are so many digital products that you can like now, like I said, I'm very restless. I'm a woman of many wearing many hats. I went into something, like writing a book. I'm putting it on Amazon. And basically, at first, it wasn't really about making the money, but it came from what I love to do, which is helping wellness seekers improve their gut. And then that turned into a product. Who says you can't sell something from just, and there are so many people in the community that can be of help just by talking to them. So please, if I could change anything, I think it would be networking. I started late, but I'm glad I finally did start.
Me too. I mean, I was very scared. I was thinking, I'm very introverted, so like what would I even say there? How would I even introduce myself to anybody? The first few times that I went to networking events, I was like waiting for someone to reach out to me. And then um but then I tried to like, okay, if you are gonna go there, you actually go there. Be interested in people. Um
Yes.
I changed my mindset into what am I gonna get out of this? Into
Mm, I
it's
want to
still kind of
learn.
the same, but like I want to learn from these people. It's
That's
not so
right.
I can So, oh, this is me, but more on
You're
what
so right.
I learned from these people. And I'm so glad that I met you at the
Same here.
Tri-City Connect event. Um,
Yeah, the Black business entrepreneur event
yeah, I am
for
very glad
yeah.
and inspired by your network.
Yes,
Everyone's really
yes,
passionate about their business as well, so that really helped me. Now,
yeah. And Canadians are very kind,
yes,
like it's not a judgment zone. Everybody's just trying to, like
yeah, and I'm so glad that we met. We got the chance to talk to Heather and Michael, who are very willing to
yeah,
help us as well. So I
yeah.
feel like we're very welcomed here as well. Now, you mentioned your book. Do you plan on writing more books?
Yes. I mean, I've been beginning to already start thinking about other things that could complement that book. I'm a marketer, so and I'm getting a lot of feedback, like also from people telling me about their needs, those that have read it. Okay, Maria, what do you think about this? So there's a lot, like watch out. But first, go get that book.
I
So
need.
that I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to write more.
I need
Yeah,
to get my hands into that because it's about metabolism and it's something that can be a challenge for women in 40s. I'm turning 40 this year.
yeah.
So definitely gonna look into that. Now, what's next for Crystal Reece Media Limited and what are your goals for the
Hmm.
future?
What's next for me? Like I recently launched, I mean, which was one of the conversations we had at that networking session. I launched the Growth Hub on our website, and basically it's just to help a lot of people asking questions around how do I market my business for free when I'm just starting. So that's going to develop more into something really great. I can't wait to share more. But if you're just starting and then you're struggling or you're wondering, you're unsure about the tools that you need, just go on that www.crystalreecemedia.com. And then of course you would see all the information there around kind of assets you need or what do you need to do for free. And in terms of what's next, from a digital product side, I'm going to be releasing more books that complements what I'm currently doing and passionate about, which is around gut health, women nutrition, just helping women be their best and feel their best. And yeah, so that's what next. And I look forward to so many collaborations, consulting, consulting in the community, digital marketing, working with so many businesses that need to amplify their voice, those that are already established and then want to get more revenue, acquire more customers. I'm your go-to for that. So I'm excited about what's to come.
Awesome. So other than your website, where can people connect with?
Oh yes, I'm on social media. Yeah, Crystal Reece Media. I could just share that with you. I have that as a social media account. You can just that's where I share a lot of insights as well. So you can join us in Facebook. North America is a it's a Facebook. I mean, a lot of people in North America use Facebook, so you can find me there as well on Facebook.
You mentioned about North America being focused on Facebook, and in the Philippines, Facebook is really a big thing. So,
That's amazing.
so just like as a personal question for me, I thought I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just gonna stick to Instagram. But do you think putting more on Facebook would help on the podcast?
Yeah, and of course that then goes back to who's your target? Like who are we targeting here? Are you targeting minorities? Are you targeting women? And then of course you can distribute. There's so many tools, tech tools online that can help you distribute across. Meta has a distributing it's called Meta Business Suite. So
Mhm.
when you're posting on Instagram, you can also share it on Facebook, right? Less stress, but you're using one content and then you're able to share it across,
Mhm.
right? So you're building your audience. So what if Instagram is no more tomorrow?
Right.
What happens? Then also email marketing is something that will never go away. You're building your audience. You're able to also share monthly newsletters with them. There are so many tools, HubSpot, MailChimp, those are email marketing tools. I'm not doing advert for them, by the way. That they are free tools and you can actually use that, if you're not going for the business level, you can use that, to to um to nurture your audience. And then the more you nurture your audience and they know about what you do, the more you get exposed to brands that need connect with those audience. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when those brands that want to connect with those audience find you, then you can start charging for it.
So
So
there you
it's about
have it.
value all around. It's
We just
value
got
all
a free
around.
session. We just got a free session on marketing. So thank you very much, Maria. It was very fun speaking to you today.
Thank you so much for having me, Marianne.
You're
And
very
yeah,
welcome.
I
Have a
look
good
forward.
day.